Hello, my friends. It's Margot, and I hope that all is well with you. Okay, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. This is your disclaimer. If you don't like spiders, this is probably not going to be the video for you, and that's okay. You can click off and we will come back to non-spider videos in the very near future. But we are doing another old Hollywood journal spread. Woo! And this was one that was recommended by a bunch of you guys. So thank you so much for the ideas and the inspiration, because today we are doing Tarantula. Yes, Tarantula, the fabulous movie from the 50s where a giant tarantula terrorizes a town. Wow, that was alliterative. I didn't even mean to do that. I recently watched this movie again. I haven't seen it in years, and it's actually not bad. I really enjoyed it. So I was more than happy to put this into the old Hollywood journal. Now, if you remember, what we're doing is we're alternating sci-fi with monster movies. So we did War of the Worlds, and now we are on to a monster movie that is Tarantula. So let me tell you what I did off camera without you guys for the background, in case you want to do this for your dopamine art journals. So I just painted the background with black. This is just Mars Black acrylic paint. Let that dry. And then I went in with my fantastic spiderweb stencil. Spiderweb stencil. Say that 5 times fast. And I don't remember where I got this stencil from, but it is like amazing. I'm probably going to use it so much during Halloween. So I went in with white paint and that stencil and got that whole pattern down here in the corners. Cause you know, I like to kind of mirror each page with the different visuals. Once that dried, I went in with a sponge like this, and then just very lightly, I didn't use a lot of paint. I used some pink neon paint and green neon paint and just very gently dabbed on top of it to get this kind of smoky fog neon effect there. So I let that dry, and then I wanted to use some scraps from, I don't even know if you can call these scraps, kind of, from my my paper stash that I make. And I use these when I'm like trying to clean my brush or trying to clean my sponges. I'll just have like a handful of these like deli papers or wrapping paper or tissue paper available. And I'll just make little patterns. Like here I had some orange, some purple. This one I went crazy with a bunch of different colors. So yeah, what I did was I tore off some just bits and bobs of those papers and I put them here in the corner and I layered them. And I also put some coffee paper here, which I haven't done in any of our old Hollywood monster spreads yet. And I just felt like that kind of broke it up because there was so much like vibrance with the black and with the neon that having this kind of old world, old fashioned brown paper kind of toned it down a bit. And I liked that. So that was the idea behind this background. And one thing I've mentioned that I do in advance is I do try to plan out the layout with different ephemera pieces, focal points, and things like that. So I'm not just going into it blind. Otherwise, I get really overwhelmed. And what has helped me is if I have one main focal point on each page, like a big image of whatever it is that I'm working with, and then I'll have little pieces of ephemera to complement that main image. So for this particular spread, I had so much fun finding different images online. These are not for sale because these are IP. I'm just using these for myself in my personal journal. But I did go online on Canva. I found this really cool, here, can you see? Declassified with restrictions folder that I thought would be cool on here somewhere. I typed out science gone wrong with the neon pink. And then I used, this was actually a scrap of the deli paper to mount it. I cut out a little beaker here and I changed the color digitally so it was a neon green because the movie's in black and white. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take creative liberty and figure out what the colors were in the movie. So like even here with the movie poster and the characters, you see I did my favorite thing where I go in with I'll show you. These little pan pastels I've had for years and years. Like, they never go bad. Love these. And I just used my finger and I went like this over their clothes, over their faces. I actually used some color pencil up here and on her lips to get that detail. And just kind of decided what colors I wanted their clothes to be based on what the background here was. Because I thought that that kind of complemented it there. And I love that it has that kind of smoky old world effect. Like, you know, when they go in and digitally remaster movies, it has that kind of like chalky effect. So it's perfect. Now with this poster, I found this online and I printed it on a light cardstock, but I also mounted it on some old coffee paper with kind of this retro pink and blue grid design. And then I went through and distressed it with our distress inks that I know we pretty much all have. And I just thought, again, that complemented the coffee here. Now, what I am thinking is this is going to be the focal point for this page, and this is going to be the focal point for this page. And you know, I love to make things interactive. So I'm going to have these two be a pocket of sorts, like a little tuck pocket. And this is going to be something you can pull out and flip over. And I've got, where are they? Here, look. Little images from the movie that I really liked. Like, this is such a good scene. This actually gave me the creeps when I saw it. Like her screaming. And I thought we could do like a little journal piece back here. Oh, you know what? That's actually another thing that I have not mentioned to you guys. When I'm planning these out, I always try to keep in mind where I'm actually going to journal, to actually write. So it's not just images. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that if you just want to have a whole bunch of really pretty images in your journal. But I like to write, and I like to make notes about what I thought of the movie, some of my favorite facts about the movie, like behind the scenes, how they made it, things like that. So even on this, you see, I love this part. I won't give any spoilers away for the movie in case you want to go see it, but this was such a cool scene. I love it. It just makes me laugh. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and journal on the back of this folder, like it's still a top secret folder, and just do some notes, like pretend I'm actually in the movie and just write my observations about the specimen, because he is a specimen and he escaped. All right, let's get into it. So to start with, I am going to glue down these guys, and I'm going to leave some room up here because what I thought would be cool is to tuck this behind it. Like it's just kind of coming out like that. So I'm just going to secure, I don't know, like a good half of their body here and use my good old tacky glue because it dries fast and it stays strong. Move this off to the side here. And yeah, can you see? I mean, it's nothing amazing to see, but hey, I actually put the lid on for once in my life and I don't have to sit here and peel off glue. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Winning. Yeah, it's weird to get back into the swing of doing a video when you've been gone for a while. And if you saw, what is it called? The community post that I did. It's like the little spot on YouTube where you can post like Instagram-y type stuff, like pictures and then a caption. But yeah, I let you guys know that for the long weekend, we had a foster dog named Padme. Darling dog, absolute princess. I loved her. Pretty sure she was a puppy. I love this shelter. We do a lot of work with Heartland Humane Society. But I'm not 100% sure they got the age on her right because, I mean, and I could be wrong, but she acted like a big puppy because she was, or she is, an Anatolian Shepherd. And my understanding is they are closely related to Great Pyrenees, you know, the big dogs. So even though she was pretty big, like she was almost the size of Mo, my German Shepherd, she had very much like puppy mannerisms, very much puppy mannerisms. And that's fine. Like, I love a good puppy. Don't get me wrong. But we were not prepared for that kind of energy level. But she's an absolute good dog. I mean, if you are in the Willamette Valley area of Oregon, definitely go check out Heartland Humane Society. She's an amazing dog. They've got other dogs of different sizes, different energy levels. And, I mean, you can't go wrong rescuing a dog. Am I right? Am I right? Let's put this right here. Here, can you see? Yeah. Yeah, I like that there. Where's my paper? So yeah, we had her for the 4th because it gets so rowdy here. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know what it's like where you live with fireworks, but out here, I mean, like, I don't mean to sound like a fuddy-dud. Okay, first of all, I really don't, because I love a good sparkly thing in the sky like anybody else. However, could we maybe do without the booms? It just seems like each year the bangs get louder and louder, or maybe that's just me getting older and older. I don't know, but I will tell you what, some of these explosions, like, they didn't even sound like fireworks. It was crazy. Padme did great. She did great. One of you was asking about the medication that the shelter vet recommended, and it was called Cilio, and it worked great. Fantastic. It's like a new type of product, I guess you could call it, where you put the gel like in the gums of the teeth of the dog, and it does something to like calm them down specifically for noises. Did I do that too much? Let's kind of open that up a little bit like that. So yeah, I mean, she was in the bed, she was asleep, there were bang, bang, bangs going on all night, and she was out. Now, Mo, on the other hand, my dog, my rescue, he's got kind of a rough background, so he did not do so great. Actually, hold on. You know what? Let's put this here. I'm just like talking, thinking, and creating at the same time. Walking and talking and chewing gum at the same time. Does that look cute in that direction? Yeah, like that. Where's this? Mo, he did not do good. And he had all the things, like the music going, the white noise machine. We wore them out. I mean, they had such a good time. We went to farmers markets, we went to parks, we went to Jeff's work, and they just ran and ran and played and got so tired, but it just wasn't enough. So Mo did not have a great time with that, but I do recommend Cilio. I mean, obviously talk to your vet, consult your physician. That was like the little disclaimer. Don't come at me for giving you medical advice, because I'm not, but it did work. So I do think that is something we'll look at doing next year too. And okay, so this is the poster that I found online. How sick is that? Look at these colors. And so what I did is distress the edges a little bit to give it that kind of retro old aged look. Colored in their clothes. I gave him a lime green shirt because I felt like it matched the background, and then blue because I just love turquoise blue. I just associate it with the 50s. And then I started off camera without you guys to see if this neon pen would show up here. And it did. Like, look how cool that looks. So I'm just going to take the creative liberty of coloring in the movie title here, and wait till you see what I have in mind for the pocket, I guess you could say, of holding this poster. You're gonna die. Oh my God. It's very similar to what I did with Creature, with the Creature journal spread. I don't know, maybe that's like becoming my thing. I'm not even intentionally doing that for every journal spread, but it's just kind of happening, and that's totally fine. Like, I love that for me. Yeah, let's also not drag our hand through it. Let's turn it around. So yeah, how was your 4th? Is it as crazy there with fireworks as it is here? Now here in Oregon, so the situation is we have like little mom and pop fireworks stands that pop up, and they sell like sparklers and smoke bombs and basically fireworks that don't really do much because the big ones are technically illegal here in Oregon. The big booms, the ones that like shoot into the sky, and there's a certain like height restriction, like amount of feet they can shoot up, like the little fountains and stuff here in Oregon. So yeah, like the big ones are essentially outlawed. Not that they do anything to really enforce them, as far as I know, to enforce that. So what happens is people drive across the border to Washington State. They go get the illegal fireworks and they bring them back here. And that, my friends, is why it is so loud. It really is very loud. So I'm just curious, are those kind of fireworks allowed in your state? Is that just an Oregon thing? I'm not sure. Look at that. Look how sick that looks. That's so much better. Oh, I want to frame this. I want to put this downstairs where we watch all our movies. Maybe I'll look at doing something like that. Wouldn't that be cool? Like you alter and make a collage of vintage movie posters and then like make it your own. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to marinate on that a little bit. So let me let that dry and then we'll work on the back here for that. But okay, here's what I'm thinking. Are you so ready? You're not even ready. Here, can you see? Okay. I found the perfect image of a giant tarantula and I made him a little bit bigger, or her, I guess. Because I'm thinking, like, what if you open the journal page and it's like crawling on to the journal? Oh, like that. And what I'm thinking too is, okay, we secure her. It's a her now. Let's secure her down and have her hold the poster. What does that look like? Let me look in the camera. That's fun. That's fun. I have no idea how that's going to work for securing it. I mean, I guess I could, yeah, I could tuck it up in there and then maybe just have her legs hang off like that. I mean, does that look like an actual spider maybe because they're not secured down? I kind of like that. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to be careful opening up the journal so her feet don't bend. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So that means, okay, let's have this be centered here and then have her body be, is that center? Like there. Yeah, maybe down a little bit more. And then I'm going to glue, let me bend that so I know, like from here-ish to here. Okay, let's do it. Where's my thing? Yeah, hopefully, if you don't like spiders, you've clicked off by now. Totally get it. And I have said, like, whoops, see, I almost went into the wrong spot. Margot Jean, hold on. Let me do this again. Okay. I don't mind spiders. I, in fact, like spiders. I appreciate them. I admire their work with webs and all of that. I just don't love them in close proximity to me, specifically if it's in my bedroom. Actually, when we had Padme here this weekend, the dogs were outside like the whole time. They were in the yard, they were playing, they were in the bushes doing God knows what. I did notice that after she left and we came back inside that a bunch of spiders did hitchhike, I think, a ride on them. And there were quite a few spiders in the house. And one that I didn't really love was a spider that had decided to go in between the toilet seat. Do you know what I mean? Like where you sit down and it was underneath the toilet seat. So you go to like do your stuff. And a giant spider popped out. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not what no. We don't do that here. That's what I'm talking about. Spiders, fantastic. Please don't go in the toilet. Please don't go where I'm about to sit. Thank you so much. So yeah, don't love that. Okay, here, look. Is this going to work? I'm just going to have to be a little precious with it. Yes, it is. Look how cute. And then obviously I'll cut that off there. That's so good. Oh my God, this makes me so happy. All right, let's let her dry and put this off to the side. And let's start here with this back here. Here, my center, yes. Now, what I'm thinking for these, let's start with kind of the order in which these scenes happened, as far as I remember. So this was them in, I think it was the funeral parlor when they were doing the autopsy, trying to figure out what was going on. Here's the spider coming over the hill. This is after, obviously, he escaped and got very big. He, whatever. And then I just like this picture of her screaming because mood. So let's secure them down. I don't think I am going to distress them. I'm just going to keep them as is. And I'm also going to just keep them black and white. Like, I'm not going to go in and color them with like the chalk pastel or the colored pencil. I'm just going to keep it how it was in the movie. Is this sticky? That's okay. I didn't even mind that the movie was in black and white. And now I don't even know if it has been remastered to be in color. That's something I should probably look into. But in a way, the black and the white kind of added to the spookiness factor of the whole movie. So it was kind of cool. There's another movie I saw recently from the 50s called, I can't remember. No, it's, I think It Came from Outer Space. I want to say it's something like that. It Came from Outer Space. And it's also in black and white. And yeah, color is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, hello, I'm a color girl. That's what I do. I love colors, playing with colors. But there is something to be said about black and white just creating that ambiance. Really a whole vibe. Let's do that there. And I'm kind of doing them off center like this. And then my thought process is I'm going to journal little things here, like here and here, about the movie. That's what I think I'm going to do. Let's put this here. Whoops. Hands are getting sticky. Yeah, another thing we did this weekend is I say we, it's really me. I was on Facebook Marketplace while the dogs were outside playing. I was just cruising around, just kind of like, oh, what's for sale? Let's just see. Not that I need anything. And I tell you what, I found the absolute deal of a century, of a lifetime. It was a lot of 3 giant, like really big boxes of vintage romance novels. Now, I am more of a sci-fi kind of horror girl when it comes to books and fantasy. I go through fantasy kicks from time to time. Right now I'm in sci-fi, but I just couldn't resist because it was $10 for 3 boxes of these just stunning old romance novels. And the covers, oh my God, I need to show you guys. Maybe we'll do something with some of the covers, like take inspiration from them or something. They are iconic, and it's exactly what you think. It's when you think of a 80s romance novel, the cover, yes. Yes. And there's some from the 70s and the 60s there too. And they're in okay-ish condition. Some are really good. But some are just kind of like hanging on for dear life. And those I might actually, don't come for me when I say this, but those I might actually alter and use in some type of project. Specifically the ones where it's just like they're so damaged beyond recognition with water or Lord knows what substance, because some of them kind of have a stink to them. And yeah, those, rather than just throw them away, because I know nobody's going to read a book that's like grody and nasty. Like, why wouldn't we repurpose them? Especially the covers with the sick art. So I don't know. That might be something we look at doing. Whoops, I got some stuff there. Yes, this is so cute. Here, am I in frame? Can you see? Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Let's put this here and see what this looks like. Just behind, actually I wanted this like that. Yeah, I made a little pocket here so it goes shroom, like right in, tucks in flush there. Let me cut her little booty off and her legs because we don't want that sticking out. Did I do? Yeah, see, that'll be okay to cover, to close, I mean. But yeah, so I got all these romance novels, like a lot. There's a lot. I would say maybe 100. Now, what I am thinking, because there's so many, and I have a huge collection of vintage sci-fi, fantasy, and all that too. I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to do like a fundraising event for the shelter where Padme and Mo came from? Because they're a good shelter, but they're not like one of the big ones here in Oregon. Like one we have down here has a gorgeous state-of-the-art facility, and I'm not bashing their facility by any means, but it's definitely smaller and it definitely feels a little bit older. And I really want to get involved and help them out because they're just incredible people with all that they do. Oh, her legs there. Let me glue that down. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I clean these books up, and I do put them in the freezer. I saw that online, that just to be safe, if there's like icky bugs or whatever on them, you can put them in the freezer for 78 hours in like big Ziploc bags. And that just helps kill whatever might be on the books. They seem fine, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hypochondriac. But wouldn't it be fun to like sell those books and donate the profits to the shelter? And we could call it like Barks and Books. There's alliteration for you again. That's a theme in today's video. And like have a bookish event where people can come and they can bring their dogs and maybe they can dress up like as their favorite book characters. And like maybe we have tea and coffee and crumpets or something. And then you can buy like vintage used books and it goes to benefit the shelter. And that's what I think I want to do. So I actually reached out to them to see if I could even do something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, totally. So they're going to get me in touch with their director and we'll go from there. I'll let you guys know what happens because if you are in my area, I would love to meet you. Like that would be so fun. If you're into books and dogs and art and all that, come on down. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so we've got the main focal points down. Now you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in. I'm going to doodle like crazy. I am going to use actually some washi tape. Let's see. Which washi tape would be cute? And write down, I like to put the year the movie came out somewhere. The glitter is cool, but that's too much. Said no one ever. I'm almost, no, I don't want to do yellow. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to do the green. So I'm going to put that in the background somewhere and just have fun going through making little doodles. I might do one of my borders up here because this is so visually intense. Like this is actually probably one of the most visually intense journals I've done. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe not. But yeah, let's have fun. Let's do some doodles. So spider webs. Let's get out the smaller neon pens here. Actually, before we do the neon pens, I'm going to go in with the white. I have learned this the hard way. Not even really hard, but it makes it so much more vibrant if you go in with a white Posca pen, especially if you know you want it to be neon and just pop. Do that first. So let's do around here, let's do some bubbles because it's a beaker. And like maybe there's some little bubbles just to give it the idea of being kind of a weird substance. Just kind of frame it like that. And then let's put some dots down here. Let's do it in groups of 3. I love to do it in groups of 3. And let's do another bit here to kind of frame that folder. Let's put one here. Let's do one up here. Should we just keep it on the black? No, let's do one over here. Will this show up? Yeah, it shows up. It'll show up. And let's do one over here. Where? There. Like that. Cool. Let's do some stars. Do we want to do stars or do we want to do... Yeah, let's do some stars. Just the simple little do's. Let's put one down here. Ba-doo. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you are a reader, would you go to a fun bookish event if you knew, can't talk, that it benefited shelter animals? And it's not just dogs, by the way. This shelter, they have guinea pigs, they've got bunnies, they've got cats, they've got dogs, of course. And I don't know, I think sometimes they get some other stuff into, like they won't turn away anybody. And yeah, they're just such a compassionate, good shelter. And I really want to make a difference because sometimes this world is really ugly. Sometimes, like all the time. When I say sometimes, I mean all the time. And I want to try and make this world a prettier place for everybody, for you, for me, and for the animals that show us so much love because they're just incredible companions. Okay, I am going to pause the video and I am going to doodle all over this and then come back and show you what I did. Whoa! I'm back. Okay, so this is the finished journal spread. I went a little nuts with the neon. When do I not though, right? So I went through and I did just basic doodles, put some washi tape with the year that the movie came out. I wanted something over here to kind of mirror this washi tape, so I just put another scrap there and said escaped because the spider obviously has escaped because here he is in a smaller size on our journal. Now for the movie poster, you know I couldn't just be basic. You already know. So of course, I had to get nuts with all the neon and just more doodles. And I just know someone's in the comments like, tarantulas don't make spider webs like that. And yes, I know that. But I just wanted to have little doodles of spiders all over this because maybe it made friends with other species of spiders when it was out in the desert. Who knows? So I just wrote little notes there, put a little border of the neon green dots, outlined part of these in the pink. And I just think that that's pretty because it kind of matches the pink on the cover. So we tuck that right back in there. And then over here, okay, I chilled out a little bit on this because I wanted it to look, can you see, a little more scientific. So we've got like the project notes. Like if this was the opening page of a file for this whole situation, I feel like this is maybe what it would look like. So we've got the project is tarantula, case number, the subject is obviously a giant spider, status, escaped, and there she is cruising down the road in all her glory. And that's the last known photo. That's what I put there. So we tuck that right back in here. How did I do this? Like, yeah, like that, just kind of at an angle like that. And then, yeah, I just went in with all the little pens and made dots and doodles and dashes and stars. And I think this is fun. This is so dopamine journaling, at least for me, because it ties in nostalgia. It ties in my passion for old movies and all things vintage. And of course, bright, crazy colors, bright, crazy visuals. So I hope that just looking at this and making this with me brought you some joy, brought you a little hit of dopamine. And I hope it inspires you to do something for yourself. Maybe watch an old movie and start a commonplace journal, a dopamine journal, just documenting what you think of that movie. I think that would be really fun for you to do. In fact, I am recommending it. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me today. If you made it to the end, you know what to do. Leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!